Climate change is no longer a myth. It is no longer a prediction of the future that we are unlikely to live old enough to see. No, climate change is real, and it is more than an environmental problem that we can choose to ignore. For decades, humans have used fossil fuels in order to lead their ever-growing materialistic lifestyle. But releasing tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere does not go without consequence. The flooding of the beautiful Fiji Island or the massive wildfires that have raged the Australian forest are only some of the living proofs of a planet in crisis. If radical systemic change is not brought soon enough, catastrophes around the planet will only increase and millions of innocent people will suffer. But what I find even more unfair and problematic is that rich countries do have the means to adapt to climate change, but poor developing countries do not, even though they contribute the least to global pollution. It is estimated that 20 million people living in Bangladesh will lose their homes by 2050 due to the rise in sea levels. In my country, Mauritius, the rise in sea levels is also a threat to our island, as our coastal regions and our beaches are at high risk of being submerged. How inhumane it is for rich countries and their industries to continue supporting the use of fossil fuels when they know the world's poor are bearing and will continue to bear such disastrous consequences. It is not a question of having enough money to lead an increasingly luxurious and effortless life. It is rather a question of using that money to do the right thing, to save humanity and life on this earth. And this is where hope can be found. Many corporations around the world have actually taken measures to counter climate change. Big companies like Apple, Google, or Tesla are investing in renewable forms of energy and are turning away from fossil fuels. Even oil and gas companies have made efforts through projects aimed at capturing and storing carbon. So change is happening. And if all other companies and businesses choose to step up and prioritize the transition to renewable energy over profit, then we may have a chance at climate justice. Because for many, money is not the problem, surviving is.